We were sent by the king, not on a biology expedition, but to acquire...
But to kill you.
Knife! Die!
To kill you and take your butterscotch!
We were ordered to acquire...
Hand it over, bitch.
We're here for the scotch.
I can't hear Prin! Jesus Christ!
Sorry.
We were required to acquire a relic from Zanzibar.
At that, she kind of just keeps going, reaching for the bowls as she pulled out a little step stool to help her get some height.
While he's telling this story, I'd like to inspect the room, see if we're still being watched. If I could,
Go
tell if
ahead.
Zanzibar's listening.
Go ahead, roll Arcana.
I also want to roll Arcana.
Woo!
What?
Oh, I have no need to. Never mind.
21?
No, it's normal.
21.
Everything's normal. He left.
I don't trust like that. I'm still, I'm lifting up fucking blankets and looking under tables.
Checking under doilies for little Zanzibar crabs. Little fucking soot spirits with Zanzibar.
I'm checking every little thing. I'm paranoid as fuck right now. After what happened last time.
Is that so?
I want to just go over to her and just help her get the soup bowls. I want to get lunch over with.
She looks at you and she kind of nods as a thank you and passes you the bowls, and then starts reaching over for the ladle.
I see. Which one? I only know of so many.
She's asking which artifact you've been sent after.
The same one as last time.
Does Nim say that in character?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
She kind of just looks over her shoulder.
Ah, the sword. So you're fools.
We are not,
Paid
but I
well
believe
to
the
be
king
fools.
is.
Tired fool.
It doesn't matter who you are or what you're after. If you're after the sword, you're fools. So says Granny.
She's ladling out this
That
soup
is so bad.
into these bowls.
I'm just holding the bowls and just gesturing. I'm just helping her get over this. I mean, if he's got a gun, I'd happily go after that instead. Swords aren't my forte.
Yes, and I'm beginning to believe this was all a plot by Zanzibar to begin with. If he has been watching the whole time, why would he allow us to even go after such an artifact?
Small minds. Small minds you have. Too young. Why would Zanzibar want to stir up that kind of trouble? Hush you, you're young! Keep that up and you'll be a neutron rather than a salamander.
Wait, what did she say? I know I heard wrong.
Well, what? To Prin or before she told Prin to hush his shut? Shush. I had a stroke.
Yeah, I didn't hear Husher struck.
So the stuff before she scolded Prin again?
Uh-huh.
Let me try and think. I'm genuinely having a memory block.
Give us the cliff notes. What did she mean?
That's the thing, I don't remember.
But what did she
Who
mean
actually
by
heard?
that? Yeah, I didn't understand what she said. I figured it's something like you're dumb because you're young, but
Oh, yeah, young. There we go, now I remember. Thank you. I genuinely forgot the train of thought.
I'm just gonna eye her from the back of the room. Then what do you suggest he's doing?
Or should it Zanzibar doing anything? If you knew a thing or two, you'd know he never really acts unless provoked. Which means...
As she goes to sit on a stool with difficulty, and she places her hands on her walking stick.
Zanzibar's not the one who planned the plot. But if he knows about it, that means he wants you to go. Why? I'm too old. I don't care. Doesn't affect me.
I'm actually gonna like laugh at that a little bit.
Prin is not laughing.
But
So
it does mean.
I assume that since she went to go sit down, all the bowls are served.
Yeah, you took over serving the bowls.
What that does mean, though, is that someone's plotting against Zanzibar. And that is doomed to fail.
Well, yes, it was the king. He is foolish.
She looks at you.
Small mind. Whoever said it had to be the king.
You think power is greater?
Of course, power's greater. Men don't often get the idea to walk to death unless they think they can live it. So,
Hello.
a king would have, a king, even of his power, would have to believe that he has enough backing to do so. Especially after what happened last time. In trouble you all are.
Mm-hmm. We are well aware.
Well, take your soup and get out.
As she just points at the door.
Don't you?
I'm-
want the bowl?
You
What?
are?
Does she want the bowl?
Well, she wants you to eat outside.
Oh, that's what she meant.
Oh.
Why is she feeding? What? What is this woman's problem?
She's
I'm just
a
gonna-
grandma!
I'm not even gonna touch the soup. I'm just gonna get up and.
You're not gonna take
Okay.
your...
Bella grabs her bowl, downs it in one go, sets the bowl back down, and then goes up.
Now, after hearing that shit, I can't eat.
Not gonna revivify your soup? Wow.
Hey, somebody give me a diamond and I'll do it. But unless you pay up, you gotta hold that shit.
You have
Just ask
diamonds.
Samson. He seems.
I
to be
do,
into it.
but I paid good money for them, so
What
somebody
am
else
I,
better
some
pay
sort
up.
of pimp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I knew it this whole time. You were
Big Daddy Pimpson.
You never gonna actually follow through. A disappointment.
Alright,
Dude,
I
okay,
cast
hold on.
Revivify on the...
Ah, yes.
The only thing you can cast is gun. Shut up, Sam.
you wanna...
When he
you wanna
shoots the
cast
ball.
the gun?
Cast a gun on the soup.
He can
Use the
cast
fucking
this.
bowl.
Do not shoot the soup.
Nimble, take her bowl and thank the old lady for the soup and the butterscotch.
I'm never gonna say anything. I'm just gonna get the fuck out.
Prin is going to inspect the soup. What are the contents of the soup?
Bruh.
Roll me
Jim South Yell and eat
investigation.
it, so.
Alright.
It's soup.
Shut up. Hold on. I'm gonna roll.
I mean,
Beating
like,
a 5.
It's all soup.
Maybe Prin's one of those people who's never eaten soup before.
11.
Damn, that
Hooray!
soup sure is soupy.
You see there's some vegetables that you don't recognize. Noodle that looks like it was noodles that looks like it was made out of roughly processed grain. Chunks of very crimson meat, though it is definitely boiled and well cooked.
Couple of Zanzibaris in there.
Zanzibaris, Zanzibarly.
Shut up. Prin is actually going to pick out one of the bits of meat and take a bite, like by itself.
You bite it, and
If y'all is still in the room, she's looking at you like you're absolutely insane. Which is to say, she's looking at you with pretty much the same expression she always has.
But anyway, you bite into the meat, and it's almost like there's nothing there at all. I mean, there's something there, but the meat is so tender that it doesn't even hold up any resistance as you bite through it.
Oh. Oh.
And it is
Like, there's nothing at all.
absolutely
Nothing at all.
melt in your mouth deliciousness. And in
Stupid
fact,
sexy soup.
is some of the best meat that you've ever eaten. Easily in your life.
You noticed a complete 180 on Prin's expression. As soon as he ate that, his face softens, and he just starts eating the soup quietly.
I'm just pacing back and forth on the road.
I think that's the only time I've ever seen you happy.
Prince stops mid-bite, and he just gives you a look. Can't say anything because his mouth is full, but he just keeps eating.
good soup.
I take it
Are
you
we
like
almost
it.
done here? There are things we need to do.
Oh,
Like
that's
what?
right.
You just hear
And
Granny perk up, and it's like,
Why don't you? The salamander is enjoying his food.
I'm glad.
she
I'm
just
gonna start like rushing to finish my soup and then go for the door again.
Yeah, I mean, Prin's not gonna take his time. He might be like raised posh or whatever, but he's a dragonborn, so he definitely eats it like very quickly.
Nim does not eat that fast.
And he slowly stands up, kind of just silent, just gives the granny a silent look of approval.
Likes
Just
that
nods.
soup you do, don't you?
Yes,
Hmm. Well, I'm glad. Maybe one day, if you work with Rosebeard, you may even be able to haul one of them in yourself.
kind of rolls his eyes at that.
as she just looks at him and is like,
I mean, you already met one, didn't you?
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
as she just gives Prin a wry old smile.
Is she talking about the high grass?
Yeah.
He.
This
Remember
bitch.
that 180? Remember that 180 earlier? Yeah, that's bad.
Bro, you 360.
Whoa, Prin's a grappler.
Without it, he didn't even scope in.
He narrows his eyes a little bit and
Tastes like chicken.
tail flicks, and he kind of just marches off to the door.
Before he can pass, she sticks her walking stick in front of him.
Sun Wukong stick?
I mean, the cottage is small. You can all fit in there
Pretty small.
barely comfortably, but that walking stick is kind of long enough for her to reach from one end of the cottage to the other.
That's funny.
I mean, it is tall compared to her. Look at it again. And she doesn't even, like, look at you this time. She's just like,
You're all so eager to rush out. How many creatures do you actually know about on Zanzibar?
Absolutely none. No one was ever willing to tell me anything about anything that lives here.
Oh, don't you
And
think
the
it
books
might...
weren't specific.
Of course they're not. You didn't have a... There are no books written on Zanzibar. Half these
Well,
people...
perhaps
Nim
we
looks
can change that.
horrified.
I wouldn't have read them anyway.
So, tell me, young ones, you're just gonna go marching into the forest and then into the desert and you're just gonna hope that you get there without getting eaten?
Well, you seem eager to kick us out, so do we have another option?
Yeah, pretty much that's the plan.
Okay.
as she kind of, like, hops down from her stool.
If you wanna die, be my guest.
God, I'm so tired of this old lady.
Alright,
Does Prince say that in character?
Yes.
alright.
He
Game
gets
plan.
he gets
Everyone huddle up.
he gets wrapped in the knee as he says it.
Excuse you.
I'm gonna stare at you when you say huddle up.
Alright, everyone huddle up. Nim, can you hear us?
Nim's still eating, by the way. Just nods.
Go ahead.
Dude, does everybody else huddle up? Because I don't know what the fuck that means.
But yeah, as you're all deciding to huddle up, she starts slipping out onto the porch, going over to her rocking chair.
I'm gonna
Alright.
slowly creep up to them, looking confused.
Alright, Hyala, you seem to know how to survive and kill things, and Nim really seems to not mind this old lady. You two stay here and learn whatever she's willing to tell you, so that we don't die. Prin, I don't care what you do, you seem to be content on leaving.
You'd be correct.
Yeah, I usually am. Celeste, you might come with me to the dock. I don't expect you to do any of the heavy lifting, I just want someone there as I'm putting everything away. Sounds
Why?
like a plan?
What is at the dock?
all of the stuff I bought for us to trade so that we can actually get something from these people.
Fine.
Wonderful. Break.
Nim waves.
I'm standing there when you say break.
Break what?
Thank you for the soup, Grandma. Some of us have to head out. The others are going to probably listen to you if you have anything to say to help us out.
As she's rocking in her rocking chair, she just smiles again. She's like,
Alright, you be good now. And tell Gimford that he should come here and visit me. I haven't seen my boy in 4 weeks.
I will do just that. You have my word.
And
As
Sam
I
never
pass
speaks
by
to
on the
her
road, I'm
again.
gonna give her a fucking mean ass side eye. And then I'm gonna like just disappear around the corner.
You see a flash of brown as her staff just clunks Celeste in the face.
Like yeah, she like creates a portal all the way to the dog. Bonk.
yeah, you think you're safe, and then you just see a Sun Wukong like staff extend through the port, and it just bunks you right there.
I'm gonna sit at the base of the dock as close as I can to the land while listening.
All right, so I get.
Friend's gonna be outside of the cottage, like right outside, and just leaning into the wall. He's gonna actually stay and listen, just not in the cottage.
Not in Grandma's house.
Does it smell like old, dusty furniture?
It doesn't smell like old, dusty furniture. It smells like the rest of the place. Marsh.
Like shit. Okay.
I
It's not
imagine she's
full.
the type of old lady to put like gross plastic on all of her furniture.
No.
No way.
We
No
can't
way.
afford plastic here.
Yeah, it's
You can
Zanzibar.
and you save up 7 lifetimes.
It's Zanzibar. You think anybody
7
actually
elderly
has
lifetimes.
cushions? It's all wood furniture,
You
dude.
just sit on the spring.
I hope y'all isn't breaking this chair.
Well,
I'm gonna go
on the
flip
porch,
my laundry
there's-
over. I won't be too long.
Okay.
On her porch is just her rocking chair, so you may have to like kitty sit in front of her.
Kiel will stand. So she'll approach, and she'll say, "Pardon me, madam.
Hmm?
I asked earlier if there was any wisdom you were willing to the creatures here and how to survive them."
Surviving? Usually by avoidance. But, considering you're making a beeline for the one place in the world no one should ever make a beeline for, I suppose you're going to have some issues.
Nim pulls out her notes.
Best to be prepared for whatever.
So as she's explaining everything to you, she helps paint a mental image of Zanzibar.
An image.
The man,
Where's
the
that
island, the people.
The thing you're looking at. But also,
Earth?
yes.
Wow.
Wow. Oh,
Wondrous.
why the hell is the? Why did it start us off so close to the bottom? Why is the picture so scrunched up?
I don't know. The picture suddenly got, like, scrunched. Let
So
me
we're
see. if-
here at the port of Zanzibar.
Yeah, at the port of Zanzibar.
Not a port in Zanzibar, right?
Nope.
Not
Southeast.
another port of Zanzibar.
Southeast. I don't know why this got scrunched up. Pardon me. It's so hard to see where the thing is. Ah! There we go. That should be easier to see.
Much.
Except I'm like now zoomed into 300%, so we're gonna go out a bit.
So I take it the red is more Zanny, where the greener you get, it's more Zabar.
Yeah, the red is where the desert is. The tan is the savanna. The light green is where the forests are. The dark green is the marshland, and the remaining color is grasslands.
Yes, that was exactly what I said.
But anyway, as you
Good
can
job.
see from the port of Zanzibar, she details that you will have to cross through the marshlands and through the forest, which will be the most dangerous part initially. And she lists off a number of different creatures. One being the common owl bear, which she also mentions that in the port there are domesticated owl bears for help transit. However, while that would be good if you were going anywhere else, they will not survive in the desert. So, in terms of carrying equipment or possibly having some protective backup, you can't go into the desert with the owl bears because they'll just die from the heat. They won't even be comfortable in the savannah. Much like Kiala. So
She hears about the Albert.
So she does list out that you may be able to use them to get over to the village of Zanzibar and then possibly pick up a better acquainted steed that would be able to survive in the desert. Though, how...
Sorry, I was gone longer than I thought. Whoa! What's this?
We can fill you in later. Or they can fill you in later. But she mentions, as for the rainforest, that will be just getting to the village in Zanzibar. If you choose to go there, you will have to encounter owl bears, carnivorous tree snails, a wasp carrier flail snail, which she goes on to mention is basically like a moving wasp hive with a flail snail under it.
Terrible.
Which have giant grassland wasps and smaller varieties. She also explains that from the giant wasp, you can forage and pick up its venom sac, which can be used to craft antidotes or poisons. The antidote is incredibly powerful and works for a variety of uses against poisons, so it may be useful. As for the carnivorous tree snail, well, best avoided. She mentions parrot bears, a cousin of an owl bear, which are very often seen before it is too late, and she describes to you their hypnotic abilities, and mentions that, again, it might be better to have an owl bear because it's the only known creature that she and probably anybody else knows of that is resistant to the parrot bear's hypnotic abilities and have a ravenous hatred of them. So they're good to keep around because out of everything in the forest, perhaps it is the parrot bear's ability to break your will that is the most dangerous, despite their actual lack of pure deadliness. She says that because of her age, she hasn't been outside of the port in many years, let alone in the desert. So what lurks in the terrible homeland of the man himself could be anyone's guess, but best to avoid anything that breathes or moves. As for the grasslands, it's largely unpopulated because there's really nothing there but light shrubbery. So you won't have any trouble with necessarily anything there. And most of all, she doubles back and mentions that if you encounter a small friendly bird in the forest, do whatever you can not to anger it.
Don't piss off the bird. Got it.
Basically,
I'm just
the moral of
the
that
two
story...
people least likely to anger it are the ones hearing this.
Yeah, but she says best not to... The moral of that story is don't piss off the friendly bird. It's not necessarily that it is a monster that will harm you. Rather, she says it's incredibly poisonous. And should it poison you, very few things will be able to cure it without, medical care, let alone in the middle of a forest without civilization in the round. So, best avoided...
What about the venom sac antidotes?
Kiala asks that in
Kiala
character.
will ask if the previously mentioned would be of use.
She shakes her head solemnly and says, even that is only but to stave off the poison. It's not impossible to be cured of it, but it's incredibly tough, and it's much easier to just be friends with the bird rather than to make it feel endangered.
Nim asks what it looks like.
She actually... how is the easiest way to do this? I know! Open this, open that. Open that. Open that. I guess it would go in NPC pictures, because it is an NPC. She details the birdie.
It's
So
a
look at
very
the bird.
cute bird.
Bro, that's a normal ass bird. How are we gonna know?
Because it is very
Let's say
black
that to
and...
his face.
We about to get smoked by this bird.
It's very black and very orange. But she does point out that should you befriend one and are careful not to get any of the bird's body parts to touch raw skin, you could possibly, if spending enough time around one, collect any shedded feathers and use that to make a very lethal poison.
Ooh.
How are we supposed to collect the feathers without touching them?
Okay,
Plastic
raw
bag.
skin would... Okay, if you had scaly skin, could it touch the scales without problem?
She shakes her head and says, only fur and clothing. But even then, fur must be washed incredibly thoroughly.
Well, we know what we're
use
doing.
geyser. Gotcha.
She actually points out that some of the birds are kept in places that are close to where they live, such as in the port itself, or the village of Zanzibar, which is literally inside the forest. And those poisons that are created are perfectly helpful for killing anything, but very bad for actually hunting, because, well, the meat's completely toxified. She mentions
Why didn't
that...
they just shoot Zanzibar with this?
Man,
Gotta actually manage to hit him with it first. But she does mention that getting contact poison is much different than ingestion poison. If you ingest the poison, like eat the bird or eat meat that the bird is poisoned, that's far more fatal than simple skin contact. She's a knowledgeable old granny.
Don't eat the
How
crazy
can you-
poison bird. Genius.
Well, for Hyala, that might be very good advice. It's a small
I'm
bird.
hungry.
She is a cat.
A small
Caution!
bird wouldn't be a good meal.
It's a good
It
snack,
would
though.
not.
We're not talking about meals. We're not.
It's
Oh,
an hors d'oeuvre.
speaking of meals, I meant to say when the very second you got onto the port, now you actually do have to manage your meals.
That's why I ate the soup.
Yeah.
We all ate soup.
Yeah, the soup was like your last freebie. That's why lunchtime was so important. Well, except Celeste. She chose not to eat the soup.
I sure didn't.
Celeste has not eaten a good meal.
Disrespectful.
She should do that before morning rises. But,
I should.
yeah, you missed out on
Nim-
some of the world's tastiest meat. In fact, probably the tastiest.
Nim will ask, how can you tell if something's been poisoned by the bird? By ingestion, not contact.
And she looks at Nim, and she actually just shrugs her shoulders. Don't eat anything that's already dead.
Oh,
Oh, it just auto kills you. That's good to know.
Oh, you mean like if it's living and not dead?
Yeah.
Well, realizing what you mean, she chuckles and says, if it's stone cold and frozen on the ground, but still alive, don't eat it. Because the poison has strong paralytic properties. Basically, if you get touched, you paralyze severely. If you eat it, you're paralyzed and you're dying.
So don't fuck with any birds.
Don't touch with the birds of Zanzibar. The birds of Zanzibar are big scary. They are hugely poisonous. You would not believe how poisonous these birds are. Also, then there's parrot bears and owl bears. Might not want to fuck with those either.
Befriend all the birds and bears.
Bird
I ain't getting
bears.
close to any birds.
Bird bear, bird bear, bird bear. And that's pretty much all she's got for what you should encounter going from the port to the tower. How you get there is up to you. But you must think smart, be wise, and try not to die.
And don't eat any birds.
Yeah.
She gives both of you a piece of hard candy from her secret stash for being such good girls and such good listeners.
Nim says thank you.
Does she give Prin one for also being a good girl and a good listener?
Prin
Shut up.
was being surly and listening, but was not being attentive. Therefore, she doesn't know that he was listening in the first place. This one's not omniscient. She's just old. Anna Grande. Also, the salamander has not been very nice to her. He's been quite mean.
Nim got
For a
candy
night?
twice.
Nim got like...
Not very nightly, fam.
Yeah. The knight's not being very knightly.
What happened to chivalry? I guess it's just dead. Kids these days, I swear.
I guess you just can't challenge another man to the death.
I'm sorry, Strider.
Chivalry's dead.
You're getting so bullied. You're getting so bullied and I feel bad, but you're also...
Part of the problem.
Prin's a very angry boy.
Bully
Anyway,
the shit out of him.
Cute boy.
he's a cute boy. He doesn't deserve all that.
Scaly boy.
Racist boy.
Ooh, woo, scaly racism boy.
Less cute.
Anyway, story time is over.
Game over.
Hyala will bow and thank her for all of the information. Look over to Nim and ask if she's hoarded all that, despite the fact that, obviously she was.
Yeah, Nim shows Kiala her notes.
Hyala nods.
Are there like pink crayon drawings?
No, they're like, there's little sketches on the side with like annotations and whatnot, but they're like pretty concise for the most part.
Because of the
Damn.
sublore we have set up for this character, as soon as you said pink crayon drawings, I just saw Nim just kicking her feet back and forth as she lays on her stomach.
like 8 inches, so they just feet hanging off the chair.
No,
Look what I drew.
she's just laying on her stomach, kicking her feet like behind her, drawing full fisted with a crayon with her tongue sticking out of one side. Just,
That's like
Maybe
that's
when she
like
were a child.
Nim
but
is
not
now
the day.
DW, and no one can change that.
that's
in
like
there.
that's like our headcanon of Nim, but like real shit. Nim just throws a fireball at you if you try to wake her up.
I love how you
Yeah.
just compared Nim to DW. Jesus God, that was a throwback and a half.
Nim will also give a curtsy and say thank you for telling us and for feeding us.
What is it for, Grandma? Besides to tell stories and give candy.
Nim asks, is that what all grandmoms do?
She kind of like looks at you, is like,
Never got to know your grandma, sweetie.
Nim shakes her head.
Well, you always have old Granny Zat.
And she smiles at you nice and big.
Nim gives one in return.
Didn't know your grandma? Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that.
Same.
More like, didn't know your grandma? Don't worry, you have me.
Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that.
Cheers, bruh.
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 Bro, moment. There sits
Nim
a
gets
cold bowl
grandma's
of
in my
soup.
notes.
Does Prin wish to say anything to the helpful grandma?
You about to suplex her.
I thought for a second that you said suplex.
I did.
Like,
Yeah.
like actually the word soup.
Oh,
Soup.
suplex.
Yeah, suplex.
About to
that when
fucking
you-
power bomber.
Just power bomb her with her own fucking
Power
cauldron.
bomber right on the table.
No. Well, I suppose you could, but that would probably get you killed.
Yeah. But it was a damn good way to go.
Is Strider here?
I don't think so.
Well, then we'll assume he's being surly. Do you two go off to meet up with Samson and Celeste?
Hyala would ask permission to head off first, assuming she's finished saying everything she thinks would be helpful.
She nods.
Thank you, madam.
You'll be well, dear, and put some meat on your bones.
We'll try.
Said that to Hyala?
Yeah.
Hyala buff as fuck.
Y'all buff as fuck. But
You can
Granny's
put
always
more meat on your bones.
But Granny's always want you to put a little more meat on your bones. She's
Bro,
lean. She's
Trying to
lean.
turn her into a heckin' chonker.
Excuse
Is that not grandma? Is that not the job of every grandma?
me.
Oh, Lord, he coming.
Like, Kiela's buff, but she lean. Grandmas aren't happy unless there's a little pudge around that midsection.
Kind of 20 years from now, when the campaign resolved, we have fat Hyala.
Kiela just walking in with a bucket of chicken, just like,
Like, I'm done. I did my shit.
Back when I was your age, I went to Zanzibar and came back.
No,
All I got was this turkey leg.
Look
I've
at
been eating
how,
on it for 20 years.
look at how thick my tail is now.
This is Hyala slander. I apologize.
It's okay. Everyone else is being slandered on a regular basis.
Yeah. Everybody else got fucking whaps except for Nim. She did the smart thing and hid from Grandma's fury.
Behind me, and then Celeste.
I took it.
Until I got candy, and then there was no fear.
And Samson just got turned into a goddamn pinata because he's stubborn as hell.
I'm not stubborn. I got shit to do.
Well,
Me too.
Grandma thinks otherwise. Listen to
I
Grandma.
got shit to do tomorrow.
You play D&D, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Anyway, so you four regroup?
I don't know. I'm waiting. Did Samson already do his thing?
Yeah, were you guys just chilling at the pier?
I
Yeah,
was
I
not here. I was doing
I was
laundry.
I was packing all of the stuff up.
Mm-hmm. So,
That I bought from the captain.
I guess Hyala will wander back.
Nim will follow and wave and say, "Bye, Granny."
Goodbye, dearie.
And I'm assuming Prin's just gonna slump off with you guys? I don't know, because last I checked, Strider isn't here.
Yeah.
He probably
Shredder,
would.
more like Dider. Haha.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Ah!
Die.
Hey, you're back.
So is there anything you want to say? Because they got their information. They're
Granny.
walking away.
Hell no. I'm leaving.
Just so mean to Grant. You're mean to everybody. Jesus Christ.
I have a mission to do. I'm on a
Yeah, be
quest.
mean to everyone.
I see what
You
kind
are-
of knight you are. You're not one of those nice knights. You're one of those fucking douche knights. coming around on a fucking
Night.
big old horse, being like, oh, look at me, I got
Bush
metal.
night.
Look at me, I got a helmet. No.
Shut up. May I take your answer?
You cannot take my hat. It was crafted by the finest dragonborn smiths. It's very expensive.
Anyway, we left to go to the pier. Does Prin follow?
Bruh.
Oh, little salamander.
Wait, what?
Everyone
Follow
left
us
you
back to the
behind.
pier.
Left me behind. Oh no, whatever
Yeah.
will I do?
Yeah, now you're stuck with Granny.
Right.
Bye.
There you go. Boom. It is done. I'm here.
Cool.
Welcome here.
Alright. We peering.
We them boys peering.
Alright, so I got everything packed. We should be good. Alright, there's just one other thing. I assume the boat's still next to us that we're in the pier.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna walk back on deck, like onto the land. Yeah, and I'm just gonna call out to Sufrin on the bed. It's like, oh yeah, Sufrin, you want some payment, right?
As you see just the head of Sufren pop up from below deck and he looks over at you. He's like, I was mainly kidding, young merrymaker. Be
Oh,
safe,
I-
everyone.
I'm a man of my word. Now get down here.
As you see him hop up onto the banister, and as he kind of leans forward, he just kicks himself off and just like launches to you.
What a fucking weirdo.
He didn't want to
Man.
walk the whole way. He just wanted to leap.
He's like
It's
one of those
quicker.
kids in high school who just jumps down the entire flight of stairs.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's probably how he all got to.
Yeah, but anyway, he lands in front of you and kind of just stands up, kicking some of the mud as he lands. He's like, ground's not steady here, is it?
No, it hasn't been. It's all mud, you see. Here you go. And then I hand him back the blanket.
Bye.
But that
He
blanket was
just-
comfortable.
He just holds out his arm as you drape the blanket on. He just stares at it.
Well,
He just tucks it
there-
under his arm. He starts shaking his head as he
there's
walks
the
away.
other half of your payment.
Oh.
Sad music plays as he takes it away.
Blanket coon.
As he starts walking up the dock, he kind of stops and he looks back at the five of you, and he's like, and he just looks at you, and all he can think to say is,
You're gonna
"Come back safe, okay?"
I'm
was gonna
surprised
say,
you
what a
didn't
bunch
ask
of
about what
weirdos.
the first half of his payment was.
I don't think he really registered it.
He should have.
I'll give him a weak salute.
Nim waves.
Do you want to call out to him what his first half of the payment was?
Well, it's not as cool if I tell him. He has to ask.
Well, as he kind of starts to turn away and he stops and he looks at the blank, he's like, second half?
Yeah, the first half was you just became one of the first Avangali admirals to step foot on Zanzibar.
He was on Zanzibar like a while ago though. Like
No,
he
it
helped them unload.
wasn't.
Well, no, because according to him, that was only on the pier.
He kind of goes back to chuckling. He's like, "Oh, they sure do make them special in Varisis, don't they, Mr. Merrymaker?" As he walks off back up onto the boat.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Can't believe you gave back the blanket.
You son of a bitch. I want it.
Please tell me Nim actually just grumbled. that.
Yeah, after Suprin turns away, she goes, I thought you were gonna keep the blanket.
Aha, that was a little ruse. I never said I pulled the blanket out of the bag of holding.
I didn't ask about the bag of holding. I just said I thought you were gonna keep it because you said you put it in your own bag.
Huh? Yeah, I put it in my own bag of holding. The one that I went to go give him was the one from my camping sack.
Well, you didn't tell me about that. Therefore, and Sufren would have noticed that it was the wrong blanket. So, because I didn't know what you were doing, I'm going to say you gave back the real blanket.
Damn, I played myself.
Yeah, you didn't let me in on the joke. Therefore, you know, you can't dupe the DM. That's not good.
Oh,
I
well.
appreciate the attempt though, but next time you should probably let me in on the joke.
Yeah. Oh well.
So we'll actually just say, for the sake of you attempting to pull it off, that you tried to make the swap, but you actually fucked up your own swap and swapped the right blanket. So you think you have the real blanket. That'll probably come up when you start setting up camp for the night, wherever that is.
Well, I don't think we got anything left to do here, and we still got daylight to burn. So let's head off, everyone.
Yes, finally.
Are Hyala and Nim going to share their information?
I assume while we're walking and talking.
Walk and talk, baby.
Because the
Then
markets...
show Celeste her notes.
Yeah, the markets are going to be your last stop, but I'm not acting anything in there. I want to drop you guys off in the forest, so...
Man, I don't know what to fucking trade.
Unless you absolutely want to act it out, then I'll allow it.
I want
No.
food.
And get back.
Right,
here.
What can... No, I walked off.
5 weeks
Into the-
later, 5 weeks
into the
later,
sub-
and would you believe it or not, I'm still having nightmares about the shops of Evangol.
It's okay.
Me too,
I
man,
can
me
now
too.
buy stuff because there's no Gerald. I hope.
I'm not buying nothing.
Yeah, you're not buying shit, you're bartering.
Yeah, all you have is that useless money.
And I have this sneaking suspicion.
He also has armor.
I have this very sneaking suspicion that Frin isn't going to talk to want to talk to any of these people.
Yeah, they're
No.
poor.
You know what? Fuck it, I can't buy shit. I don't
'Cause-
want to trade anything I have.
Yeah, Frin seems like he's not in a good mood, so the last thing I think he wants to deal with is people that are below peasantry.
You said it, not me.
Lead to it.
Yeah, you.
It's all about the implications.
Word.
Alright, so
Right.
what exactly can we grab from the market?
I'm off.
Imagine the most basic of basic resources. Like, if you think about finding a lamp, you might not find a lamp, but you might find
Okay.
somebody who has raw brass that they could bend into a lamp.
Okay, I will say that Nim has tin torches, a tinderbox, a mess kit, which can also turn into like a small cooking station. The mess kit, I mean. And what else does she got? Yeah, that was the important thing. And don't forget to put the ration tags on your rations.
Yeah, never forget that. I don't know how much of those everyone has, but I know everybody... Didn't you get like a tin of 160 of them?
I
Someone
only
was
have
like a-
10.
I
someone-
grabbed like a bunch.
Well, somebody was given that tin from Sufran.
Me.
You told me I only had 10.
I yoinked
Yeah.
it. I yoinked the one from Sufren and like dug myself into the one with the bag of holding.
Yeah. So whatever anybody has for those, you have.
I didn't get a full number. You want to call it like 200?
We'll call it 200, and then we'll say
What?
that Celeste's 10.
That's a lot.
You
You
have.
got 200?
I mean, every time it's a one-use item, so every time you use it, and you may have to eat more than just once a day.
Bruh.
It's also not like you have a plate of fucking goulash and you put a tag on it. No, it's like you have a loaf of bread and you put a tag on it. Then you have a steak and you put a tag on it. if you cut some of the steak and still have some, you gotta pull the tag off and then put a new one on. So like you'll go through them. Believe me, you will go through them.
Man, I only got 10 of these bitches?
You only grabbed 10 then.
Yeah.
I asked you and you said 10. I was like, how much? And you said 10. I was like, okay.
I'm the item character.
Bro, you got 2? Hey, as long as you share it, I don't care.
You think they're all for me?
Okay, yeah, I'm fine then.
Yeah, no, it's meal preparation for
They
everybody.
are.
It's not like we're not. You aren't in the. I'm having a stroke. I'm offline.
So wait, is it
no.
just ration tags, or are they like tagged food already?
Oh no, it's just the tags.
Oh wait, so we have to get food elsewhere?
Whatever food you have from this point on, you have to have a tag on it, otherwise it's gonna go bad.
So
Also, oh, you can go first.
the rations that we have are food with a tag, correct?
Yes. We'll
Okay,
assume
okay.
yes for the sake of ease.
Okay.
So like, don't eat the tag.
Didn't that pirate also give us some food so we didn't have to barter for food?
Food was the only thing he said he wasn't giving up. I
Oh,
believe.
I heard the exact opposite.
Nah, all the food he bought was provisions for the town at least, and then some to transport. Well, not even transport, because if you hadn't gotten it from context, you're not getting any more of those provision tags here. This place fucking poverty.
Yeah.
They can't
so,
afford that kind of
we
magic.
We gotta make things last.
Oh yeah. But yeah, in the market you could get pretty much anything basic enough that can be made with hands. If you can craft it with your hands, then you can find it here. Samson should be right at fucking home here.
Oh yeah. I like they just because they don't take coin doesn't mean I'm unfamiliar with it.
Yeah, no, this is like Nomad Varisis. You want something done, you either do it yourself, do something for somebody else so that they do it, or make it yourself, or do something or make something for somebody else so that they make it.
Unfortunately, I don't got shit to barter.
You've got Samson's 2 whole fucking bags of shit.
That's true. What's up, Samson?
Damn,
You
I
are-
am the pimp.
You are a party! From here on out, you are truly a party. All you have is each other. That's it.
I ain't giving you my motherfucking diamonds, though, that's for sure.
Welcome
Alright, we're dead.
to Zanzibar. You guys have
Nim?
to rely on each other to survive.
Nim can use prestidigitation to clean people. Like their clothes. We could start our own washateria.
I think we already know what like that bartering stuff is like for show. We already have an infinite supply of something these people might be really interested in getting.
Water.
Exactly.
They do live
Which
in
is
a
on
marsh.
Nim. Nim did not hand that to you.
I am going to remind you, they do live in a marsh next to the ocean.
Oh
Well,
my
that's
favorite
saltwater.
drinkable liquid, the ocean.
That is 100% salt
The
water.
ocean.
The
It
ocean
is-
or muddy water. I wonder if they would like this endless supply of fresh water.
Okay, it might be good, but like, they do have their own means of, boiling salt water to get fresh water.
True. We cut out the middleman. No boiling.
Yeah.
Just fresh.
It might work. In fact, it probably
not
will work to some extent, but I'm just trying to prepare you for the idea that, like, it's not like you're going to roll up into the markets, whip out the bottle, start pouring the water, and everybody's going to, like, drop to your feet and start calling you a god.
Well, of course, one, Zanzibar is here, and two, that's why I got a whole bunch of stuff to barter with.
Yeah, you've been thinking way ahead of the game.
I'm the item character.
He's the item
As you
character, but
said.
Anyway. The markets of Zanzibar, do you go? Because technically you guys
I
are
go.
still sitting at the docks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go
I
yourself?
I assume everyone's following with me.
I'm, like, begrudgingly following, because I want to...
Nim
this
doesn't
shit
want to be
on.
left behind, so she follows.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Where the fuck you go?
So you get into the market and, people don't seem to stare at you too much. And, luckily you came in on Rosebeard's ship. as opposed to on your own craft. So by association, you aren't automatically the scum of the earth.
We're at least some sort of cool people.
But Hyala and Nim, you see where some of the owl bears are sitting playfully, kind of like dozing around in the mud in their pens.
Are they more owl or more bear?
They're owl bears. Wait, do you know what an owl bear looks like?
No.
They are mostly bear with like an owl face.
Yeah, they have an owl's head, but on a bear's body with like feathers instead
They
of
have
fur.
feathers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a combination of feathers and fur, and they have like long
Oh,
claws.
is this like an established creature?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, owl
Oh, I didn't
bears
know
are
that.
one of the few things you'll come across that are not homebrew. Well, I think they were homebrew at a time, but they're iconic, I think is the proper word.
Are they classified as beasts?
I think so, yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Let me check the character sheet.
Cool.
No, they are characterized as large monstrosities.
Really? Okay. Good.
Yeah, because they're kind of
Man,
assumed...
I really gotta pick that up.
The origin of owlbears is assumed to be like a hybridized creation from a forgotten sorcerer in like all of the lore of owlbears. So I think they're considered monstrosities
Wow.
on that reason, because they're not considered
shit.
natural creatures.
Wow.
Owlbears have been around since the first edition of D&D.
Oh my god.
I thought they were a homebrew originally.
No,
No,
I
they're
just
very
looked it up.
classic.
That's surprising.
First edition D&D is so whack.
Yeah,
It
but
looks
they
terrible.
they are indeed classified as large monstrosities. I would consider them a beast, but
monstrosities is a favorite enemy.
you're apparently going to be fighting a fucking lot of them.
Yes, that's why. Because I picked beasts, because I'm like, that sounds like a generic thing that would be everywhere, but no, apparently everything here is monstrosities.
No,
I mean,
I
like,
So
it
I will
makes
get
sense
that
you
as soon as
grow
we
up
level up.
hunting beasts.
yeah, you're hunting
Yeah.
beasts. There are beasts. Like a lot of the things that Granny named were actually beasts, but owlbears are a monstrosity.
Mm.
Alright. Mr. DM, I told you what I was looking for.
Yes, I see, but there are, of course, somebody putting together cloth. And just to give you a better idea, it's not like dirt marshland. It's pretty green, but it's soft and it gets muddy.
It's gross marshland, because all marsh is gross.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Is there
gross.
like a pet store for these owl bears, so we can get an already domesticated?
What?
Well-
Who the fuck would be selling an owlbear as a pet?
Well,
I mean, these people apparently.
to these people, they're considered beasts of burden, so less pet, more like buying a donkey.
wait, really?
Well, yes,
I-
but can we? I would rather get like a pre-domesticated one than have to go like Pokemon one out in the wild.
Yeah, I
Pokemon
assume that they
Emerald.
have like a ranch, as he said.
Yeah, no, I did say that there's a ranch there. They're playing around in the muck. They're quite friendly looking.
I think Yella could wrestle an owlbear.
She doesn't want to.
You could.
In the
She
far,
could, yes. but She doesn't
to
want
kind of also paint the picture in some of the nearby farmland by the market, you see these absolutely large, docile blue creatures just tilling the field, and they look something between like a lobster or crustacean mixed with a squid. Quite weird looking, but you know, they're tilling the fields. There's animals abound. This place is like reliant on beasts of burden.
So Hyala is spending a lot of time looking at these beasts and stuff.
I will tell you that which I will tell you for free is the water bug that Zan was referring to is in fact a beast. A very passive creature. Think like a big oceanic cow. Go moo.
Spilled cow rum.
But yeah, no, there's cloth workers, basket weavers, leather workers, smithy, masonry, all the trades you can imagine. And yes, that does include jewelry. Maybe not, you know, gluttony and jewelry or dragon roost jewelry, but there's jewelry.
I think
Nim Samson. Oh.
I think I'm also going to so I sneak off to do that thing, and then I'm gonna go to the jewelry thing.
Yeah, you can do the thing that you told me about, and then you go over the jewelry thing.
Yeah. With Hyala.
Do you just grab Hyala and start dragging her? Because last time somebody grabbed Hyala's hand.
Hyala didn't go well.
Yeah, I just go like, Hyala, come with me for a sec.
Sure.
What?
Just gonna leave the 3 people who don't know anything about this
I'm
alone?
just like-
Okay.
I'm just like throwing my hands up. You know that Dante. What the hell is this?
What the hell is
But Nim, you have information on the beast. You could start looking around, and you know how to shop, I'm sure.
Not with these. I don't got shit to trade.
Essentially, I just want to go look at the jewelry thing and be like, so you think any of them are gonna be like magic, like that little necklace you got there?
Oh yeah, ask the person with little magic instead of one of the 2 literal magic people.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got the jewelry. I think she'd have a better chance of. Samson thinks that she'd have a better chance of picking up than you guys.
So does Hyala just Arcana check the jewelry store?
I don't know. That's kind of up to you. Do you Arcana check the jewelry store? Or the jewelry stall?
She'll scan the area.
Or the jewelry stall, rather, because most of these are like huts or shacks.
Yeah, if it's selling something, it's a store. But yeah. So if she's just sort of like scanning it with like, I don't know, looking for magic stuff. Is that Arcana or is that like...
That would be Arcana.
Investigation.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, they're the same.
Yeah, this stuff is pretty. It's not magical.
She tells him that. Not in those words, because I don't think she's pretty, but... Yeah, she'll just say, I'm not sensing any...
Alright, it was worth a shot.
Indeed.
Well, while they're looking for jewelry, does Nim see any animal stalls?
There's the Owlbear Ranch.
Let's go adopt an owlbear.
Yeah, let's go adopt an owlbear.
Oh.
Nim will explain as she, for some reason, confident. Where's the owlbear ranch? Can you ping it, please?
What?
Can you ping the owlbear ranch?
I haven't placed it on the map because it's all just in my head. So
You could literally just have pinged it, and I would have believed you because I can't read this map.
Just lie to us for
That's
it.
that's the DM secret. It's over here, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Oh, hey, look, there's Zanzibar.
Wait, I think I saw it
yeah.
over here.
You see.
Stop doing pretzel motions.
You see, the Owlbear shop is right here. Actually, it's
okay.
It's. Yeah.
All right, let me. Okay.
Okay, I got distracted by the arrow, so I actually don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that was the bit.
We'll
Okay,
say
it's over here. Move over here.
You know what? We'll say it's right here. This building.
Boom.
Where the open stuff is. And they're all playing in the mud, and they're making owlbear noises, and they look so happy and cute and fluffy, and you just want to jump in there and be a little piggy with them. How about that?
As you're describing what the fucking owlbear is, and I see them, I'm gonna stay way back. I'm just like, I'm gonna start shaking. I'm gonna start shaking my head.
Brent, are you coming with us to go adopt an owlbear?
You know,
Well,
your noble steed.
You missed out on some crazy shit.
An owlbear? Why the fuck do we need an owl?
We don't.
Yeah, I think we do.
Granny told us we did.
Yeah.
She did? Oh.
Yeah.
If we don't want to die from parrot bear. But then we have to let it go before we reach the desert so it doesn't just die.
Bro, Prin. Hell no.
Yeah, I'm with him. I'm like, nah.
Okay, so our residential Sasuke's are gonna go brood in the corner.
I ain't Sasuke in this shit.
Sasuke could never.
I'm thinking this is a bad idea.
Sasuke could. You know what? I can't finish that joke. That's too mean.
Do you voice that to Nim?
What? That I don't want you
Nim's
to
just like,
adopt the
"Okay, guys,
fucking
let's go."
owlbear?
Looks behind her, everyone's gone.
I'm like, you can tell by my facial expressions that I do not like this.
I thought you just didn't like the mud.
Mm-mm. It's the owlbear. Mud ain't do shit to me.
Nim,
The owlbear
seeing
did
Celeste's hesitation, is having second thoughts. But then remembers Granny's words, and it's like, well, we'll give it a try.
Second thoughts, I didn't have first thoughts.
No think. And empty.
This is a no-thought room.
No brain cells
I mean,
allowed.
Eddie does play
Idiot.
fighting games.
Well,
So do
just
they.
him?
Well, yeah, but you're the only
Apparently
one
just
who.
me.
I
I'm
play
sorry.
so many
Is
fighting
your super strat for playing fighting games to turn your brain off?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
You think I'm alone in that?
I don't know. I thought it was a super Ed thing.
No.
And sorry, I put you on a pedestal. Okay.
No. Yeah, don't do that.
So
No, I
Nim will
will.
go up to whoever is tending and find out how to adopt barter an owlbear.
What the fuck? You got to sell him.
Don't.
But
Don't?
yeah, you approach this stout man who's just watching the owl bears and just looks you up and down. Kind of moves a piece of grass over to the other side of his lip. He's like, "Good day. Eyeing up
Hello.
the bears.
Repeat that last part, please.
Eyeing up my bears."